I'm going to do a reading and colouring vlog this week. Obviously I'm not feeling up to doing a proper vlog at the moment, maybe in a month or so, but I can tell you about what I am reading. So it was the start of a new week, so today I started reading book 4, the Dorothy and the Wizard in Oz. Yeah, started reading that this morning. I've literally read a couple of pages, so I haven't started. I am also reading something called Marilyn Monroe's Diary, which is bizarre, and I'm only a couple of chapters, about chapter 6. Just really, really bizarre. I'm not getting it. I'm really not understanding where it... I mean, I get the premise. It's about Marilyn's diary, which obviously didn't exist. So this girl's found a piece of paper that says, found Marilyn's diary. And so they just start researching Marilyn and JFK and all that stuff. Just by going to their local libraries, suddenly they're being picked up by the mafia, asking what they know. Whereas they know less than most Marilyn fans know, or Kennedy fans for that matter. And then suddenly Henry, the main male character, is JFK's son, and I don't know where that's come from, because I can't find it in the beginning. So it's come out of nowhere. I'm going to have another look at that one. But that's what I'm reading at the moment. On my Kindle, which is charged, in my bag, I believe, I'm reading The Quantum Creators and The Fabergé Egg, or something it's called. My mum enjoyed it. She's read that one. So I'll keep you posted. Colouring wise, I am trying to finish off a whip that I started last month, but that's downstairs. I have started one in Colour by Number Animals. I'm hoping to start filming at some point the 120 set of Crawford and Black pencils from the works. It really depends. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. I want to pick another book out of the TBR jar. Now, if you watched the last reading vlog, which was way back, I picked out The Voyage of the Matthew. I haven't read it, and at the moment I don't feel up to reading it because that book belonged to my dad. The Matthew was a ship that sailed out of Bristol, and there is a replica of the Matthew that you can still sail on, up through the Avon Gorge to pretty much the estuary and back, and it's something he wanted to do that we never got to do with him, so it's not something I can face. So I'm going to pick a different book because there's still thousands on the TBR, so I've just taken one off the top. I have no idea what this is going to be. I hope it's not too long. I hope it's something I really enjoy. I hope it's not another Bristol book, because all the Bristol books on the list were my dad's. So a few months' time, I'll pick it up and I'll read it. The Loveday Fortunes by Kate Tremaine. Now that is a romance book of my mum, so that's going to be over there somewhere, I hope. I'm hoping to get a bookcase over there soon, because there's a lot of books. My brother's sorting out his books to ship back to New Zealand, and he's got some bookcases, and he's got a short one. Now I could technically put a tall one in there if I can get it. I could get a tall one in there actually. I could get one in the same size, which is 6 foot. So I still might. The problem I've got is I can't get a 6 foot in my car. That's why I was going to get the shorter one. I will have a quick look to see if I can actually see where it is. But I got a feeling it's going to be in the... because they are stacked too deep. I'll show you. Here is part of my TBR. I say part because I've got some in the other room on top of another bookcase. I can see The Voyage of the Matthew there. And it's in here somewhere. I don't think it's in the crates. I think it's in this freestanding list. So I'm just going to check that it's not here. This is part of my 360 odd books. That's colouring supplies that I have to read, and I will read them all. That's why I'm avoiding going in the charity shop at the moment, because they know me. It's here somewhere. So I'm not going to bust a gut on it. I'll read it when it turns up, hopefully when I sort all these books out and get the bookcase in. I've looked through them all and I haven't seen it, which means I've missed it somewhere. So we'll just pick another one. Let's hope it's not a Bristol one. Something hanging in front of the thing. Oh, excuse my ear. Right, let's see what this one says and see if I can find this one. I hope it's one I can find. This one is Blood Harvest, S.J. Bolton. I'm pretty sure that is in that room. I'm sure I've seen it. So I'm not going to worry about the Loveday Fortunes. It will turn up. This is a problem when you've got such a big TBR. It's not good. And the thing is, if I go into the book, into the post office, because I do need to post something, I've got to send something to the DVLA, I know I'll pop in there and buy 3 or 4 more books, maybe 7 or 8, I don't know. It depends on what they've got. They usually come out with at least 5. So let's go and find Blood Harvest. I'm pretty sure I saw that one when I was looking for the other one. But while I still haven't found The Loveday Fortunes by Kate Tremaine, I do know it is somewhere within my TBR. I just don't know where. It took me a while, but I did find the other one we pulled, which is The Blood Harvest, which is... Sometimes I wish she'd just leave me in peace. Now you see her. Julian is haunted by the disappearance of her little girl 2 years ago. A devastating fire burned down their home, but she remains convinced her daughter survived. Now you don't. 10-year-old Tom lives by a neglected churchyard. Is he the only one who sees the strange solitary child playing there, and what's she trying to tell him? Now you run. There's a new vicar in town, Harry, and he's meeting the locals. But menacing events suggest he isn't welcome. What terrible secret is the town hiding? So yeah, so that is what I am going to be reading alongside the Monroe Diary, which is bizarre, and the classic Dorothy and the Wizard in Oz. Sorry, I know I'm not on screen properly. So when I get the bookcase, just going to go there. I would like a 6-footer, but I can't get a 6-footer in my car because they're ready built. If it was flat pack, yes I could, but because they're ready built, I can't. I can get the neck size down, I hope, in. I should be able to put the seats down and everything, and get it in, take Jennifer's seat out. And there's 2 I want, one for this room, one for the other room, and I'll show you all the TBR when I've set it up. Now it's going to be double stacked, but saying that, it'll be easier to find because at the moment I have to climb up on the shelf, I have to lift things up. This way it's going, no, it's not there, it's not there. And I will try and make it easier on myself, so I'll put all the hardbacks together in alphabetical order by author, not genre, and then I'm going to do the same with the paperbacks. Regardless of whether they're fiction or non-fiction, it doesn't matter, they're just going to go in alphabetical order by author. Hardbacks, some of which will be on the top because they'll be too tall, and then paperbacks. And if they're double stacked, that's fine, I can work that out, I can work with it. The idea being that it's going to be easier for me to find. As I get new books, that's when it's going to be interesting. Obviously, if I buy any this month now, I will haul them. I've had 2 months of no hauls because of what happened, and no wrap up. And I will do a wrap up this month. I've only read 1 book so far, and it's downstairs, so I have to bring it back up and put it back on the shelf. But yeah, so I will. It's just, it's just hard. So, but I can read and I can enjoy books, and he'd like that because he loved books too. He was a good reader, fiction and non-fiction. So one of the books I want to read is War and Peace, because he did read War and Peace. He said, yeah, I read War and Peace. I read half of it and then I stopped for a bit, and then a few years later I went back and finished it, and that may be the way to deal with War and Peace. So I will get a copy of that at some point. But now, I'm downstairs, I'm going to have some popcorn and I'm going to start reading this book and see what it's like. I'll see you later. Bedtime, everybody's in bed. It's not 10 o'clock, it's probably about 10 o'clock. I have no idea. I've been watching Book Talk, and the reason I've allowed myself to actually scroll a bit of TikTok is because, you know, this book I pulled, I've read it. Yeah, I've read it. I didn't pull it till like 4 o'clock, and I've read it. Literally, I don't watch TV, you see. So Paul had TV on, Jennifer had the TV on earlier, and she had a bath, which was fine. And then she went to bed, and I just sat and read it. I stopped for dinner, stopped for Jennifer's bath, and then started again. Paul was watching TV quizzes that I normally watch. This book was so good. I gave it 5 stars. It's quite disturbing because obviously it does centre around child murder, which is not nice, but it is such a good story. It's not particularly graphic, there's nothing nasty, you know. It is nasty, obviously, because what happens in it, and it's really sad. It's really sad, because of the reasons which come out at the end. Ever such a good book. I would highly recommend this. And if I ever see S.J. Bolton again, I will be picking up any more books by it, because that was good. So I'm going to calm down a bit and read a bit of The Wizard of Oz before I start my next creepy novel, which is called The Whistling by Rebecca Netley. So this one, well, it's Dorothy in Oz. When Elspeth arrives on a remote Scottish island to become nanny to a young child, she hopes to bond with her, till she learns the girl has not spoken for months, and Mary's silence is not the only mystery. Hypnotic lullabies drip down empty corridors, strange dolls appear in abandoned rooms, and as the nights draw in, darker questions arise. What happened to Mary's late twin William? Why did their previous nanny disappear so suddenly? And is the whistling Elspeth hears at night just the storm outside, or is there something else out there? Ooh. But yeah, that's the next one. I basically picked about 5 or 6 off of my big TBR pile over there and put them over here. These books mostly from earlier this year or late last year or from last year. Anything prior to last year is in the TBR jar, so obviously I couldn't find the one, and I read the other. So yeah, like I said, 5 stars. It was so good. Obviously, I will go into it in a bit more detail at the end of the month when I do my monthly reading wrap up. But yeah, I would recommend picking this book up. It is so good. So I'm going to read for a bit more, and then I'm going to go to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll let you know how the reading's going. So it is Tuesday. I have printed up all the little thumbnails to put in my reading journal. I've just put one in, that's why that's like that. If you want me to show you how I do them, I can. Basically, I can tell you, go onto Amazon, I save as, the picture as long as it saves as a JPEG. Then what I do is I open up a Word document. I actually use OpenOffice, and I then copy the picture onto that Word document and resize it down to a size of 3.38 by 4.65, which is the perfect thumbnail size. I then get 25 to a sheet of A4 photographic paper, I print it out, and then I cut them out and put them in the book like so. Like that one. That's what I done this morning. So I have just had a shower and washed my hair. So I've read a bit more of this big thing. Agatha Christie's Complete Secret Notebooks. That's how she plotted out her stories. So I am getting on for, I'm over halfway through now. I only read it really, I do read it occasionally, but mostly it's when I wash my hair and I've had a shower. I haven't really read anything today. So I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to take the whistling with me, which I started last night. So far it's a little bit creepy. It's good, I'm liking. And then I'm going to see, I've got my Kindle downstairs with Quantum Creators on it. Might read a bit of that. I did go into the charity shop today and buy 5 books, which you will see at the end of the month in a haul. If I remember, I will show you the book selection in there next time I go in. I just keep forgetting. To be honest, today's selection wasn't as good as normal. There were still some good books in there, don't get me wrong. So I did pick out 5. I picked up 2 Agatha Christie paperbacks, a Tess Gerritsen, one that's a sort of book my mum will like, which is called The Hat Girl from Silver Street. So it's a historical fiction, but I'll still read it. And, oh excuse me, a Lisa Jewell book called Vincent Joy. So I am now going to go downstairs, have a drink, and see what's going on down there, and maybe do a little bit of reading. I might do some colouring though. I'll show you what I am if I'm colouring. So everybody's in bed. It is bedtime. I've done a little bit of colouring, and I've updated my Goodreads journal, my journal, with all the books covers I printed up. I've only got one cover that I haven't got, and that one is ready to be printed when I read another 24 books. Just simply because it's easier to do it that way than because it gets so scratched. But they're all in there now and it looks nice. We read Jennifer's school book today. It was Cook Pot Cook, I want to say. Basically, they get a book every Friday to read. It has to be back on a Wednesday, and we tend to leave it till Tuesday night. And she does her maths homework on a Monday night, and I read it on a Tuesday, which is fine. But I've said if she doesn't whinge about actually having to read her book, because she's always watching TV, and we have to make her stop so that she can read, because she's getting to be quite a good little reader. I've started giving her £1 every week for reading her school book, which is something I'm going to continue to do when she moves on to chapter books. So when she finishes each chapter book, she'll get £1. to spend on whatever she wants. So at the moment she puts it in her money box, and I've suggested we use it perhaps when we go on holiday in the summer. Not necessarily all of her money, but some of it, especially if it's, you know, every week. There's another 3 weeks of school yet before half term, before Easter. Is it another 3 or 2? Is it 2 weeks after this? I don't know. I think it's 2 weeks after this weekend, and it's Easter already. But yeah, so she was very happy. She got £1 today for doing her reading. She does love reading. Sometimes she comes up and she's awake, I can hear her reading her books out loud, which is great. And sometimes she'll sit there and she'll copy the words out of the book, so she's practicing her writing as well. So she's a really good kid. To be fair, she got upset in school today and it broke my heart. The teacher came out to say that she got upset today and was crying because she misses Granddad. And oh God. But she was okay. They didn't call me to come and get her. She was fine after a little while. And then, so I bought her an ice cream because it's a beautiful, warm, sunny day today. So we had an ice cream from the van and then came home. Excuse me, guys. So I am going to, in a minute, do some reading. I'm going to turn the light off. I'm hoping to read at least a chapter of this, a little bit of this, and I really want to get stuck in on this one, because this is, I think it's set in the 1860s, so again it's Victorian Gothic horror. So this came from the charity shop. Looks like it's never been read. Spine's not cracked. Can't even feel a bend much on the spine. I can feel raising where the writing is, and I can actually see it now when if you look really close. But yeah, it's a good one. So we're all updated with our journal for now. So we're going to do a little bit of reading. I'll let you know how I get on before I go to sleep, unless Jennifer comes in, and then I'll let you know tomorrow. Hey everybody, it's Wednesday afternoon. I'm waiting to pick Jennifer up from school. Been doing some stuff down by Mum, sorting some stuff out for her. We're getting there slowly. So I've got my Kindle, and I am reading The Quantum Creators and the Fabulous, I can't even say it, and the Fabergé Egg. And my mum really enjoyed it. She's read it. So I am going to read a bit of this now. I'm on, let me just see, is it going to tell me the page number? No, I'm on page 80. So yeah, I'm going to read a bit of this and see how I get on before I pick up Jenny in a few minutes. So I'll let you know. So it's bedtime. Everybody's in bed. I've just come up. I've been downstairs doing a bit of colouring, which was nice. So today, earlier on, I read a few pages of Quantum Curators. I'm now on page 146. I think I read something like 60 pages, which is quite good. Just sitting in the car waiting for Jen to come out of school. I'm going to read a couple of chapters of Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. And then I'm going to crack on with a few more pages of this. I'm really enjoying it. I'm still a bit bewildered by this book, so yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I really haven't got a clue. It's bizarre. It is really bizarre. Now I'm thinking I might, on next Wednesday when Jennifer's up at Taekwondo and Paul's out, I might do a TikTok live colouring video. I might do, I don't know yet. Anybody who's on TikTok, my handle over there for reading and general life updates and things like that is Andrea Life. I also have another one called Marilyn and Me, which is mostly about Marilyn. Obviously, I haven't posted much on TikTok for a while, so I'm thinking of doing something like that, just so to see how it goes, you know. We'll have to see. But yeah, so oh dear me, I've got to start sorting out my colouring pens because I've got plenty of markers, but downstairs I'm running out of light blues and reds, blues and reds generally, and maybe a few greens. There are some colours that you use more than others. Red, blue and green tend to be the ones that I use the most. So yes, I don't know. I have got a colouring book on the go up here, which is Jade Summer Colour by Number Animals. I might have a go in that in a minute. I've got one on the go in there. I want to finish it. And yeah, so we'll see. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. So if you're interested in me doing a TikTok video, let me know. It'll be a live stream on TikTok. I've never done one on here. I probably could, but so whether or not I could be faffed. Anyway, I'm going to read and I'll let you know how I get on. It's Saturday night. I haven't been filming because, well, there's not been a lot to film. We went out yesterday and it was very, very hard. The first time I've been out to somewhere my dad used to go, and that was the Prince, since we lost him. It was very, very hard. I did, however, read part of the Quantum Curators. I'm near the end of that now. But I've just had a shower. I'm going to dry my hair and read this. While I'm drying it, I've just got to find hairbrushes. There's one here somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I'm over halfway through this now, so I am actually getting there. So next is another big one, but big paperback Marilyn co-star book. So it just tells us about different co-stars. When I finish this one, I'll tell you more about going out when I do a chat video, but I'm still not ready for that, not really. But I'm going to crack on and see how much I can get read tonight. It's Sunday night. A quick update. I finished reading Quantum Curators and the Fabergé Egg. I really enjoyed it, and I have now downloaded the next 4 in the series, which are all available on Kindle Unlimited. I did a big Kindle download today when I was at my mum's to make sure she's got plenty of books to read, even though I'll be going over there anyway. It's just makes life easier. If I'm not there, she can put them on herself. This is a book Jennifer and Paul got me today for Mother's Day. It was only from second-hand charity shelf in One Stop. I do not care. It's a book and it looks absolutely fascinating. You'll see it in the book haul I will be doing at the end of the month. I thought I had a lot of books on my TBR with 365 with this one. I watched a TikTok with a lady who had over 700 books physically on her TBR. So I feel a little less stressed knowing that. So I'm going to curl up and try and make a bit more headway into this because I've not got very far into it. It's interesting, but it's a bit of a slow burn. I think it's starting to pick up now with the whistling and the singing. So I'm really hoping I could do that. Yeah, I did like the Quantum Curators. It was really, really good. It's about a 3 or a 4 star. I can't remember what I rated it. I'll have to have a look. But it was interesting, and I've started one about a cat that solves a murder. That's on my Kindle, which is downstairs, because that I will read tomorrow when I pick up Jennifer from school. But tonight I want to go on with reading this. And of course I've got Dorothy and the Wizard in Oz to read, and Marilyn Monroe's diary, which is jumping all over the place, that I'm sort of like bemused by it at the moment. So it's all good. So I'm just going to curl up and read, and then what I'll do is, before I go to sleep, I'll tell you how I got on with a bit of reading this evening, and then we'll do it all again next week if you like. God, he's noisy. Just to wrap up the reading for the week, I did finish last night. Sorry, I've got a blister on my lip where I've been biting. The whistling, it was really good. The ending was really good. It really got better as it went on and was quite gripping. So I really, really enjoyed that. And then I went on and finished Dorothy and the Wizard in Oz. I really enjoyed that as well. I am now reading My Summer of Love by Helen Cross. I'll show you that in next week's vlog. But yeah, I'm up to like 31 books I've read this year now. That's pretty good for me. I mean, it's not about the number, it's just I like to read a lot. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye everyone.